Okay, so whenever I watch these pro loser videos, presentations, content, whatever, and I don't watch many of them all the way through. I just sort of like basically check to see where they are in the beginning and then go to the very end to find out how badly they got their asses kicked. You know, I just, except of course, if I'm tracking somebody, then that's a different story. Then I'll actually sort of grind my teeth and write down every bet and think, oh my God, Sirasani is one who drives me nuts, and Degen Dolt is a lot easier to watch because his editor Kyle does a fantastic job with the videos, and it's easy to track the bet amounts and the results and the number of wins, number of losses, and so on. But anyway, I look at this and I sort of think, you know what? I'm sorry, I just don't get the appeal of watching these people play like prats, lose enormous amounts of money, which people like you and me would find very useful, like to buy an occasional car or get the bathroom or the kitchen redone or take the family on a fantastic vacation or any of those good things. And these guys are just pissing money up the wall. And yeah, they get it back. Very clever of them, But what's the appeal of watching these idiots be idiots? I don't get it. I feel kind of left out, to be honest. I mean, it doesn't seem fair. I don't know what you think. But yeah, I mean, I was about to say millions of people out there watching all this stuff, but it isn't millions of people. There are millions of subscribers collectively to these gambling channels. But basically, it's the same people subscribing to multiple channels in the way that I do for research purposes. I mean, I'm sort of subscribed to Vegas Matt. I drew the line at Cody Burn Money, and of course Steve will do it. The Jack of Farts has been kicked off YouTube. Dana White doesn't have a channel. But Bretsky and people like that, I subscribe to them because I want to see what they're up to and to be presented with the latest when it appears. But I don't believe in any of them. I mean, I'm telling you, there's not one of them who's got anything to teach me or teach you, to be honest, because they are doing what the casinos need them to do. They're betting randomly or betting flat, which is Sirasani. And that's what the casinos need you to do in order for them to take maximum advantage of their advantage, which is slight, but is enhanced by table limits, which hem people in and prevent them from getting out of trouble if they get into real trouble. Free booze, which is not free booze at all. Stupidity, ignorance, lack of attention, just all around kind of playing, people betting when they're really tired, drunk, extra stupid. I mean, the casinos assume we're stupid the minute we sit down to play, so we're fair game for them. It's not an ethical question for them. It's sort of like it's like the gypsies always used to say, the old-fashioned gypsies, now called travellers in the UK. They would basically say, hey, there's nothing wrong with ripping people off because if they're stupid enough to be gypped, which is the word that they use for it, because it's from gypsies, they're stupid enough to be gypped, they deserve to be gypped, and so what? If anybody's dumb enough to be taken by the crap that we're offering them, then they deserve to lose their money. That's how it goes. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so I think I've confessed before that I am completely hooked on that new Excel baccarat shoe analysis worksheet that I put together, which has kind of evolved, actually. I think it put itself together in many ways. We're up to about just shy of 140 shoes right now, with no resort to blackjack. The rule being that basically, as soon as I need to make a bet that's above the 50,000 max for baccarat, for the baccarat sim, then I have to switch over to blackjack, where I can make a bet as high as 100,000. If I hit the 100,000 limit over there, then I have to basically throw myself at the mercy of, where the winds blow, so to speak. Don't have to do that, but the thing is that I'm just not built to give up, because it's not an option most of the time. Turnaround comes, sort of like at least 9,999 times out of 1,000, and basically it's a lot more than that. So I think in the main baccarat study thing, it's about 160,000 rounds, and I think maybe there was a serious problem 5 times. So it's not a common occurrence. But naturally, if however uncommon it is, if the loss wipes out all prior wins, then you've got a serious problem. And I do see, why some people sort of say to me, why not just have a stop loss? But the trouble is, the temptation is always to make the stop loss more in the house's favor than the players. So, in other words, to make it really low, like a couple of 100,000 maybe. And that's kind of a tempting proposition, but it's not one that tempts me yet. Anyway, I'm waffling, so let's get on with it. Double for the loss. 1-2 now. 1-2. 3, 4. I don't usually run away inside the first 5, so let's hope we can do better than this. 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, there it is. The miracle. Back to the min. So 15 to win 1,500 to win 100, not great, but given the speed of the turnaround, it's worth it. And like I've said so many times, I mean, you've got to think in terms of, number one, this is a business and not fun and games. Number two, what you're doing is you're lending the dealer your money for a little bit, and then getting it back with interest in a very short space of time. So that's really what it's about. Anyway, that bloody tie. So double for the tie, +1. 1, 2, 3, 4, +1. 1, 2. Thank you, player. Back to the min. Yeah, I watched Bobby Rivas for a little bit this morning, and he seems like a really nice guy, but oh God, he is all over the place. And he had this huge baccarat bet, 10,000. Didn't chase he won the 10,000. He was at a let me try and get this straight. He was at a non-commissioned table, but he figured that he still had 1,500 to recover to get back to even on the session. So he went 1,500 and then 3,000 and then and finally ended up losing 21,500 on the day. And that kind of thing is utter nonsense, because he's all over the place. He's bouncing back and forth between banker and player. It's self-destructive crap. But you know what? He can afford it. He can afford it, because win or lose, he's getting rich. See the damn cars he's got and all that sort of thing. And yeah, in today's America, basically success has nothing to do with ethics, nothing to do with doing the right thing. It's how much money are you making. And if you're making a shitload of money, then you must be a good guy. I mean, I was listening to Dana White talking to somebody on yet another one of these things that Dana White loves to do to promote himself. And they were talking about his visit to the White House and what a charming, funny guy the president is, and how can you dislike somebody who's that funny and that charming? And I'm sort of thinking, fucking Hitler loved his dogs. He loved Eva Braun. He loved his family, I guess. But the guy was an absolute fucking monster. And for somebody to sit there and say, well, I mean, if somebody's a good dad, and you sort of want to say to them, you stupid ass. You know, if somebody is doing bad things, it doesn't matter that they're great with their kids, that they love their pets, that they keep their house clean, that they're generous and kind to their wife. If they're destroying the country, fuck that. I mean, come on. These people are, honestly, they're idiots, and their followers are idiots. That's how it is. And that's not a lefty thing, even though I happen to be a lefty, at least compared to Trump. I mean, the irony about sort of this whole left-right thing is that uh, people who are so-called liberal in the United States tend to be the thinkers, the forward thinkers, the ones who are concerned with the down-the-road result of whatever policy it is that they're following. They look ahead. You know, Trump doesn't do that. He doesn't look ahead to tomorrow. He opens his mouth and off he goes. So anyway, what was that? What was that? Oh, okay. I guess. Oops. No, that's not right. I think I'm fucking up here. Sorry. And I'm also using bad language, which I shouldn't. Vegas Matt would be very cross with me. All right. Let's call it 1-2 now because I'm completely confused. Oh, thank you. +1. Yeah, Vegas Matt and his crew. I mean, they may be doing a terrible thing, dragging people in, sort of inspiring people to gamble, and gambling is way too dangerous for the common man. But at least they're not drunks. They don't abuse each other. They're not offensive. They don't use bad language. And even though the bets that they place and the way that they bet is completely stupid, self-destructive, and damaging to themselves, it isn't really, because they're a lot smarter than we give them credit for, because they're getting all their money back in no time. That's 1-2. I drifted there, didn't I? Yeah, I do that sometimes. All right, try again. Back to the men. Just been outside in the frozen winter. It's actually not that cold. It's 46 degrees. I don't even remember what that is in thingies. That would be 46 degrees. 14.7. It's somewhere around 7 centigrade. Alexa, what's the current temperature in centigrade?
Right now, it's 7 degrees
There you
Celsius.
go. I was right. Okay. Sometimes I get right. It's just one of those accidental things. I actually say something and it turns out to be correct. Double for the loss. 1-2. We're ahead, aren't we? How do we manage that? I really much prefer it, when I'm facing negative expectation, because then it proves the principle. When I'm ahead, I sort of think, well, there's not much kudos in winning when you're winning more bets than you lost. So this is an unhappy shoe for me. Not challenging enough, but could turn any second. Like I said. All right, back to the men. I think I might have bet a bit high there. Repeat. Men. +1. Double for the tie. 1-2. 3-4. Goody goody. Back to the men. Double for the loss. Repeat. Minimum. +1. 51. 2-3. Thank you, player. You're a good chap. For now, 51. Repeat. 1-2. Try again. 3, 4. Timing. It's all about being in the groove. You don't really have control over it. You just hope that you slip into it, and then the way that you bet just basically follows the groove, follows the flow. You know what I mean? I'm sure you know what I mean. Oh, that's a repeat. Okay. Minimum. Double. Oops. Sorry, that's 1 over. So that's got to be 2, 3 this time, I think. Oh, easy peasy. Double for the loss. Repeat. 51. 2, 3. Uh-oh, 5, 6. Player just keeps stepping up, right? See, that's because if you look at this, I mean, it's like a grapevine, isn't it? But I mean, it just shows you there's no, excuse me, no serious threats. And of course, the blue dangly there is a good sign, and that one is too. So, you know, basically, player has had it. The player's on top. It's only 33 to 29, but nonetheless, winning is winning. What the hell was that? Okay, back to the men. Oh, all right. So 33 into 52 and 30 into 28 proves the whole thing about winning more when you win than you lose when you lose. And I'm just going to do another couple here. I'm hoping that, so we were 3 ahead there. Let's hope the next one puts us 6 behind and I kick ass anyway. That's what I'd like to do. Was there a rollover in there? Well, let's say double for the loss. Repeat. This is no good. Back to the men. Double for the loss. Repeat. 51. Oops. Thank you very much. Deuce doll. 51. Repeat. 1, 2. 3, 4. Uh-oh. 7, 8. I love it when player does that. Right, so that was 1,500 to win 300. And again, you know, you've just got to look at, okay, so we put out, 1,500 was at risk. We came out with a profit of 300. So, you know, that's a 20% return in about, 40 seconds, something like that. So, you know, it's just a matter of perspective. That's all I'm saying. +1. Plus another one. Oh, we're going bonkers here, aren't we? Plus max, high as I go. Chase it. Thank you, player. Back to the min. Double for the tie. Double again, same tie. 1, 2. Back to the min. God, we're 4 ahead again. What's going on? 51. Repeat. Minimum. Double for the loss. 1, 2. Thank you, player, again. See, what you have to recognize also, excuse me, I'm so sorry about all the coughing and spluttering, but I can't do anything about it, except cut it out, I suppose. You have to recognize that there is a kind of a normal pattern which applies most of the time. But the way the casinos make their money is when volatility strikes, when variance and grabs hold of things and just pulls it off the straight and narrow. Normally, it's sort of like a couple of wins, couple of losses, 3 losses, 2 wins, 4 losses, 3 wins, 2 losses, 4 wins, etc., etc., etc. That's how it goes. 51. Sorry. Almost makes me regret that I don't still have that horrible cold because I was clearing my throat a lot less. Swings and roundabouts, huh? Double for the loss. 1, 2. Back to the min. Double for the loss. Repeat. Min. Double for the loss. Repeat. 51. 2, 3. 5, 6. Uh-oh. 11, 6, running to the banker. Uh-oh. 17, 20. Still on the bank. Uh-oh. It's going to have to be 4, 5 on the banker to get commission sorted. And then we run away. And I get what I asked for, almost. Oh, look at that. Okay. Bummer. So we're at 22-22, 23 players, 21 bankers. So it's an even shoe, but we're ahead 2,425. But we had to put out 9,000 to make that. So 2,500 out of 9,000. It's 15%, something like that. And this, honestly, this is how you have to look at it. And it's hard because the casinos have been brainwashing us for years. It's crazy. Repeat that one. Okay, 1, 3. 4, 5, running from the bank if necessary. Nope. Still on the banker. Repeat. Min. +1. That's good enough. Just always remember, fold your commission into the turnaround bet. Do not leave it dangling. It's dumb. Try again. 3, 5, running from the bank, maybe. 8, 5, so 2, 1 over on player. 1, 2. Excuse me, 3, 4. We're in 500s, of course. 3, 4. Uh-oh. We're going to run away in a sec. Sorry. Is that too many? Oh, that's good. And we made it. Repeat. 51. 2, 3. This is the only time when you'll go from 1 to 3. Normally, doubling is about as high as you go, except in special circumstances, which are, when you're rounding up, because you're close to turnaround. Like for instance, if you had a situation where you were at 8, 9, then you'd probably make it. I don't know. Well, let's wait and see, and I'll tell you, because it's always hard for me to project something that isn't in front of me. Maybe because of brain damage or something, I don't know. But anyway, I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. +1. Okay, that's as far as we go with that one. So we're on 35, 35. Bloody nuisance. All right, so 35 into 13.4 and 35 into 9.5, and you can again see, winning more when you win than you lose when you lose. But at the end of the day, as I'm constantly saying, at the end of the day, you need to look at, okay, how much did you win and what was your total action? And if you're looking at a percentage of, a win that's a 10% or better percentage of your total action, then you're doing very well, especially if it turns out that the actual value, which is the flat bet value over the same session, the same outcomes, is negative, then that's better yet. And we see that from time to time. We had one recently, which we'll see when I go back to the worksheet, to the baccarat worksheet. It was like I think a 14% house advantage overall in the session, but we won nearly 14% of our action when we came out with a profit. And so, when you've got when you're facing negative odds and you make money, then obviously you're doing your job and the business is going the way it's supposed to. Losing is just, it's not something that we factor into this whole thing. We have to work extra hard sometimes, but we don't think about losing as a real prospect. Okay, let's do a third. We're at 22 minutes, which is a bit naughty, but yes, I stopped tracking Bobby Rivas simply because he's bonkers. He's all over the place. Loves craps more than anything else, and does very well there sometimes. But he does all this sort of flash virtue signaling shit. Over tipping, buying tacos for 2,000 people or whatever. And it's all about PR. It's not, virtue signaling is a rather kind of pejorative phrase, but it applies here. And that's something else I have to say for Vegas Matt. I mean, when he does giveaways, he doesn't pretend that he's actually putting the money up. He'll say this is courtesy of so-and-so.com or, whatever online operation is daft enough to be paying him hundreds of thousands to promote them, And basically what he does is he bounces around from casino to casino. Most of the time he's at Voldemort Casino in downtown Las Vegas, which is like a 3-star casino, which until, who was it? Victor, somebody or other from Canada, and his missus, his comely wife, and I don't mean that in a misogynistic sense. She just is very good looking, much better looking than he is for sure. But anyway, she started it about 7 or 8 years ago, and Adam at the Voldemort was smart enough to say, okay, let's give it a go, see what happens. And of course now you've got Bobby Rivas there all the time, you've got Vegas Matt there all the time. I think they're the only ones that are regulars there. But Matt will go wherever the money is. Like if a casino wants him to, he goes on these cruise ships. He's not doing that for any other reason that the bloody cruise ship is playing at cruise line. It's paying him a lot of money. So any pretense that it's for the benefit of his lovely followers is BS. Sorry. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus max. We don't double those. Can't remember why, but we don't anyway. And then we chase that. And now we're on 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7, 8. Bugger. There it is. In the bag. Or should I say in the bank? That would make more sense, wouldn't it? Cash yet. That's another Vegas Matt funny that I sort of enjoy. I couldn't watch any of those guys for entertainment though. I mean, it's awful. And John Sirasani, watching John Sirasani play blackjack, it's like Barfola. It's just, what? What are you doing? God damn it. Now I've forgotten where I am. See, I do that all the time. 51, 51, 51. No, 1, 2. Thank God for this, eh? Min plus 51. Oops, damn it. Just won't take sometimes. 51, 2, 3. Try again. Min plus 51, 2, 3. Try again. 5, 6. Long grass. I think I'm going to do 11, 12 now. Because I can. Ouch! All right, so we're going to run away from this one. It's 2.5, 2.5 in 500s. I think poor attention, inattention on my part is the problem there. But that'll happen to the best of us. And I'm not even pretending to be the best of us, unlike Sirasani. It's just a joke. There we are. Out of trouble. Back to the min. So what was that? That was £5,000. And it's our session balance that we're looking to ransom to. Protect is not a word I like to use because it's the wrong word to use for your bankroll. It's recover, basically. That's the best word. In all fairness. Okay, back to the min. $51. Repeat. Yeah, it's good for me to stick around, even though I couldn't play that same minimum at the same table after 5,000 going back to 25. My buddy in California tells me that where he plays, the range is tremendous. It's you can go from I think it's 10 to 5,000 or something like that, and then you just talk to the floor manager, the pit boss or whatever, and they will let you go higher if they know you. And he's reached VIP status now, so that's got to be 1, 2, isn't it? 3, 4, what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Again, we're ahead. I don't like it when we're ahead. But what I like doesn't really come into the picture. I do like winning, though. I like winning more than losing. I don't know how you feel about that. Trouble for the tie. 2, 3, I think. There we go, minimum. One, 2. Back to the min. Double for the loss. 1, 2. 4. 7, 8. Hello, hello. If we lose this one, we're gone. Because we're 5 behind. 15, 8. Boy, oh boy, this is going to be a long one, but look at it. We're at 30 minutes, nearly 31 minutes now. 7, 8, 15, 8. So that's 3, 2 in 500s on player. Never, ever bet on banker first. Or at all, if you can avoid it. We're in 500 territory now. 3-2. 1-2. 3-4. Thank you, player. Minimum. We'll go to 20 on this one now. Double for the push, tie, whatever. 51. 2-3. Min. Plus. 51. Repeat. 1-2. Minimum. Winning by 1 is good enough. Double for the loss. Double for the tie. Damn it. Oops. Don't like it when that happens. Minimum. Double for the loss. Or repeat. There it is. Hand number 20. So we'll run away from this one. So we made 9,000 and whatever the hell that was, 9,000 and something or other, in 33 minutes. Dana White would sniff at that. But hey, he's a major loser is my guess, but he says he isn't, and what can I say? Is it a white lie? Who knows? Only his accountant, and probably not even him. Yeah, I'm sure that Mr. White has enough going on the side to be able to disguise or obliterate his losses, sort of like the rest of the regulars on YouTube, the professional losers. He doesn't do that much, and I've certainly never tracked his play because I don't find enough of it. He doesn't have a channel of his own. He just hops around with other people, basically being lauded, having his ring kissed left and right. Anyway, let's see what we got this time. Bloody hell. I didn't realise I'd done 5. Blimey. Okay. So, that has taken me by surprise. It's, like I say, not paying attention. Huh? Okay, I'll just tidy these up. Okay, so accepting that Dana White and the rest of the subsidized professional losers on YouTube would not be impressed with a 33-minute win of 9,700. We're in the real world. Well, actually, I'm in a simulated world. But what I'm trying to explain to you is that these sims are completely accurate, completely reliable, completely fair, completely unmanipulatable. And let's go and have a look at the individual things, which I can then add the good news to in the edit, or at least the summary. First one, we're looking at 33 into 5225 and 30 into 2800. Quite obvious that there we have a nice situation, a perfectly reasonable average win value over average loss value, so probably somewhere in the region of 60%. We'll have to wait and see. Next one, next rollover. Rollover quite simply means that there was an unfinished sequence, and the bets were high enough to make it worthwhile to continue playing. If it's only a matter of, $50 or something like that, then it's not worth carrying on. But I wanted to build up a few anyway this time. I was intending on 3 and I got 5 instead. So, not a big whoop. And here we have 35 into 13,400 and 35 into 9,450. Again, you just 13,400 over 9,500 is pretty bloody good. Again, it's about 150, 160% average win versus average loss, which is what we're looking for all the time. And then we go up to gag 1, which was no fun. We were due for a no fun situation, let's face it. 8 wins, 15-25, 12 losses, 31-25. I think we got our asses kicked that time. That was a fail. See the details in a little bit. Gag 2. We got what am I doing here? I'll go duh. 8s into 38-25, 14 into 20-50. Again, obvious advantage, average win value over average loss value, which is the name of the game if you want to win the game. If you want to be like Bobby Rivas, if you want to be like Vegas Matt or Dana White or Steve Will Do It or Cody Burn Money or any of those other pro losers, those subsidized chuckers away of good money, then, have at it. But if you want to win, do this. That's all I'm saying. And so this is what? And then the last one is here. 9s into 41-25 and 8s into 15-50. Again, asses kicked, money made, bankrolls strengthened, arsenal enhanced, resources improved, blah, blah, blah. So, the Excel thingy will come up in a minute. Okay then, folks, so here we have the summary of the last 5 shoes, which were spotty, you might say. In the end, we ended up with, as you can see over here, this is the 5 shoe summary right here. We ended up with a negative AV that was piddling. I mean, it was less than 1% against us. But then the game is supposed to be, sort of pretty damn low. Certainly not much more than about, 1.35% against us, minus 1.35. So we got off lightly this time. But it was a negative AV, which means that if we bet stupidly like the pro losers on YouTube, the Bobby Rivases and the Vegas Matts and all the others, then we would have lost a little bit. Instead of which we came out with a win of 9,097. I got 9,697. So maybe I've done something wrong here. I think I must have done, mustn't I? What do I get? I get... I'm just looking to see where I went wrong. I'm a little bit off. I want to do it where you can see me doing it, so that I can sort of like 2425, 3922 minus 1600 plus 1775 plus 2575. I don't know. There's something wrong with my arithmetic. I do apologize. I see it. Yeah. 10,697. Yeah. My mistake. And as I'm telling you all the time, people out there in the dozens, soon to be thousands, but right now dozens if I'm lucky, I do make mistakes and I find them and I figure them out. And this is one of the ways that I do it, of course, is to draft in this particular summary setup. And here you'll see the odds against us, the edge against us, minus 2.6% after 143 shoes, and we're at 12% win as a percentage of our action. Action is now damn near 3 million, and we've won damn near 350,000 across those 143 shoes. And yeah, I get this is a sim, but the point is, you know, I just suggest to you, if you have any doubts about this, just sign on for a Baccarat Win Pro free week and put some bloody effort in, some time and effort, and try and beat this simulation the way you normally play Baccarat. And, you know, maybe you've got a strategy which is way better than mine. I think if you did have a strategy that was way better than mine, you probably wouldn't be here in the first place. But play the way you usually do, bet the way you usually do, and then, you know, show us all. How did you do? You know, play in a week, you can definitely manage 50 shoes. You know, tell the world how you got on playing like a prat, which is the way most people do. And of course, play, I keep telling myself this, I keep trying to remind myself, play is the wrong word, especially for Baccarat, because you don't play, you bet. You do choose between banker or player. You do get the opportunity to decide how really stupid you want to be. I mean, if you want to be extra stupid, then you bet the tie. If you want to be super stupid, then you bet the other side bets, which the casinos love to tempt you with. Leave them alone, people. You know, I mean, come on, do yourself a favor. What I haven't done here is I haven't updated the bankroll and not the bankroll, the number of backers and the number of players. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so that's another minor oversight fixed. I mean, I find these things always, you know. Oh, and down here, 127 hours at 50 bets an hour, which seems to me awfully on the low side. But it comes out at 2,700 an hour, which is more than most of us make, I think, at our day jobs. So I think that's pretty decent. And like I say, the odds against us, the edge against us, is minus 2.6% currently, which is for 143 shoes, and which is about double sort of mathematical expectation for the game of Baccarat. If we'd bet like a Pratt, bet like Vegas Matt, bet like Bobby Rivas, and so on, we would have lost at least 76,000 against this action. Instead, we won 349, near enough 350,000. So you know that's sort of par for the course. That's how we're doing it all the time. Going over here, it's just a bit more information up here. Average win overall 588, average loss 436. So we're at a decent number up here, 135% average win value over average loss value, 143 shoes. So I'm happy with that. We're at 11.9% of our action. Haven't had to flee to blackjack yet. It might happen. 84 negative AVs. Of course, there are a lot of gags in here, and they tend to have negative AVs. 48 actual negative shoe results. 100 positive shoes. Those are the ones where the turnarounds are, of course. We're looking at an average winning shoe 55.42, average loss 47.91, 116% difference, but the most important number is this one over here, 233%. You know, a lot more positive shoes than negative ones, 100 positives and 43 negatives. So, you know, that's part of the engine that drives us to profit all the time. So, you know, that's the end of the story, basically, until next time. So I will catch you next time.